Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to our live. I just want to make sure that everything is good to go on the other side. Let's see. Let me go ahead and share this to story. All right. So happy that you're here watching this on the replay. And for those of you who are joining in live, welcome to the AAM's weekly webinar. Today's webinar is going to be a really good one. Very excited about it. I'm always excited. Very excited about this one in particular. Actually, let me make sure I'm recording. One second.
Recording in progress.
There we go. So let me say once again, welcome to the AAM weekly webinar, open to the public. And we're very excited to be presenting today because I think this is a topic that a lot of people have questions on. And once we get really good at marketing, I think the sky's the limit. And so I'm not going to talk too much before we jump right in because I think this topic is going to take up the full 30 minutes. And I think it's extremely valuable. So let me go ahead and make sure. Hold on one second. Let's see. Sorry. I'm juggling several windows. So you'll have to forgive me. All right. Just to introduce myself, for those of you who don't know who this is, my name is Michelle Reckney. I am the board president and executive director of the AAM. Been here for several years now and board president for a little over a year. And the AAM's been around for 30 plus years, setting regulation and standard, and everything we do from certifications to education is about helping artists and trainers build businesses that last, not just quick wins. Okay, so before we dive in, I do want to mention that you can continue learning with us beyond these weekly trainings. If you don't know, we have our Gloss and Growth Masterclass, which is a deep dive into both technique and business growth. Technique specifically being lip. So imagine seeing mature lip demo, neutralization lip demo, ombre lip demo. We've already seen some results from the people who have taken the masterclass, and it's pretty impressive. So we have lots of lip stuff in that masterclass, as well as business, mindset, finances, all kinds of other things that you're going to need in your business as you grow, especially now that the new year has arrived. You're going to want to start it off with a bang. Now, we also have our Gloss and Growth in-person retreat that's happening in March in Dallas, 27th through the 29th for VIP and 28 and 29 for general, which is going to be a very intimate 2 full days of education, connection, mindset, business strategy, with an intimate group of people, artists, educators, and 6 speakers, 6 educators that are going to be there to answer questions, guide you, do all those things. Now, let's get into today's topic, which is high level marketing for beauty professionals in 2026. Let me go ahead and start sharing my slides. Let's see. Oops. One more time. There we go. All right. So today we're going to talk about high level marketing for beauty pros like you, both real world and virtual. These strategies are going to help you because you're not a hobbyist. This isn't a side hustle. You're a licensed, trained beauty professional. And I want to make sure that this is framed properly because this is for you. Your marketing needs to reflect the level of responsibility, trust, and expertise that clients place in your hands. We're no longer in the era of casual posting, random reels, and like crossing our fingers, hoping that we're going to be able to book clients. We're now positioning ourselves professionally. So let me go to the next slide. I want to know from those of you who are maybe watching this on the replay, I would love to know in the comments, what do you feel is different? What do you feel is different these days in marketing? Because I know what I personally feel. I feel like marketing feels different. There's so many different reasons why. I think clients research, they're comparing, they're analyzing, they're reading reviews, they're asking their friends. They're treating permanent makeup the same way that they would treat filler appointment or a Botox appointment or a dermatology appointment or, an aesthetic clinic, a med spa. And that's a really good thing. It means that the industry is maturing, but it also means that your online presence has to rise to meet that expectation. Your marketing is no longer about pretty chaos or entertainment. It's about building trust before someone ever walks into your studio. Your digital presence should mirror the professionalism of your studio, of your treatment room. So, let's go to the next slide. I know I said this a minute ago. Stop posting like a hobbyist. You're not a hobbyist. This is not a hobby. This might sting a little bit. I'm sorry to say it, but it really matters. Random, inconsistent posting signals that this is some side hustle, some side gig for you. And you're missing out on having something that really makes your studio or your clients understand that you're a professional. This is a legitimate beauty brand and clinic. Clients can feel the difference once you start to get serious about your marketing. They can feel it. I know I can. I can tell when someone's leveled up their game, whether it's your lash artist or your esthetician, you can feel it. The visuals, the captions, the lighting, the presentation, your sanitation and safety that you're following, your communication style, all of that needs to feel calm, professional, and intentional because your goal is simple. When someone lands on your page, it should feel like they've already walked into your studio. So, okay, let me just make sure I'm streaming. I think I am. Oh, no, I haven't. 1 second. Real quick. Sorry. Okay. Now I think I can go live. Hold on, I'm so sorry. I thought I was going live. No wonder I couldn't hear myself. Hi, hi, hi. Sorry, folks. All right. So, for those of you just joining us, sorry that you're only catching, you're 15 minutes in, but you're still going to get some good information here. So, again, we are going to stop posting like we are hobbyists. We're going to start posting like we are a beauty brand. With that means your visuals, that means your captions, that means your presentation, that means how you're speaking, that means the sanitation and safety in your studio, your communication style, all of the things. Okay? Your goal is simple. When someone lands on your page, it should feel like they've already walked into your studio. Let's go to the next slide. All right. So, we're going to talk about tip number 1, and that is becoming the go-to beauty professional. And this is where the marketing is really going to begin. You need to understand who your ideal client is. What do they care about? What scares them? What are the outcomes they want? When you know that, your content's going to become service driven, not sales driven. Your messaging is going to shift more into education, reassurance, guidance, leadership. You're basically going to go from just selling procedures to offering solutions. And that's when trust is truly built. So you see here on this slide, it says, define your ideal client. Who walks into your studio? Understand their goals, their concerns, their lifestyle. You want to know who you're talking to so that you can speak directly to them. Same thing with the visual identity. Choose your colors, your fonts, your imagery that feels like a professional space. It can be fun, it can be vibrant, it can be neon, it can be whatever it is. It just needs to be professional, calming, and consistent. And you also want to have messaging that makes you seem like you are a trusted advisor, not a salesperson. Educate more than you pitch. You build authority through valuable insights, not promotional pressure. Okay, like it says here, building a beauty brand means someone discovers you online. Every element should work together to position you as a professional they've been searching for. Someone who understands their needs and has the expertise to deliver exceptional results. All right, next slide. So, I want you to look around at different professionals that are in your industry. Um, Sorry, let me just double check one thing. Um, oh my goodness, where is it? There it is. I want you to let me share my screen. Oops. Okay. Um, Look around at the different businesses that you visit. Look around at the dermatologist, the esthetician, high level medical providers. W- What do they do differently than what we do as permanent makeup artists? How can we as a industry become more serious in how we present, how we educate our clients? They explain, when somebody's going in for filler, they're going to ask a ton of questions. They're not out there just pitching filler. They're explaining the benefits, they're explaining the process, explaining what could go wrong. They're educating, they're guiding. They're not just showing results. They teach the science, the safety, the healing, and the long term. And your content should do the same. Now, behind the scenes education is going to build authority, and authority is going to build trust. And trust is actually what drives bookings. Now, this is an important one because marketing isn't just social media. You need three pillars working together: social media, Google, and your website, right? It's got to all feel kind of cohesive, same tone, same professionalism, same experience. Your digital presence should match your physical space because when those things align, it's going to remove that hesitation from people that are contemplating whether they're going to book with you or not. Now, when we talk about social media, we're talking about your Instagram, Facebook, whatever platform you're using to showcase your studio, showcase your skills, your portfolio, all of that. You need to have that high quality content. You need to showcase your expertise, your personality. Same thing with your Google business. If you don't already have one, you should definitely look into one because it's so important. People will Google you first or Google to find you. I have many clients that find me because they searched me up on Google. And when you're on that map, when they say near me, beauty business near me, and you're near them, you're going to pop up if you've maintained and focused on that Google presence. And the same goes for your website. Having a professional, mobile friendly website that has capabilities to book, to find out more information, to get to know you, to see your portfolio, educational resources, a way to, collect contact information. It really is going to establish you as a legitimate beauty professional. And I know I've said this before, you don't have to have a website, or in the past, you didn't have to have a website. But I definitely think that in this day and age, as we start to separate ourselves from the rest, a website, a professional website, good SEO is going to be extremely important. So let's talk about systems that feel like luxury services, right? Luxury is not about price, it's about an experience. So, for example, automated reminders, confirmations, beautifully designed aftercare instructions, follow up, check ins. These kinds of systems create calm, professional, that professionalism, like it builds that trust. So again, it's going to create calm professionalism and trust. And those are three things you really want to have if you want to convince people that you are the choice for them now that there are so many people competing for business. Your systems are pretty much like a digital front desk. And when they're done well, they're going to elevate your brand. Don't just pull out a piece of paper you just printed from the printer with some sloppy instructions. That's not going to make you look like a high level business owner. And I'm not saying go out and invest $1 million or 1,000 or hundreds of dollars on some postcards or whatever. You can buy small quantities at a time, take it to your local printer and have them create some nice items for the quantity of clients that you currently have, but you need to have something. You want to have it branded with your business name so that it looks like you're taking this seriously, like your consent forms, your aftercare instructions. You want the client to feel like they're in expert hands. Now, Post-appointment checkups, like I said, follow-ups, a lot of our booking systems now automate that stuff, which is really great, but it does give a little personal touch if you're able to check in with your clients and remind them and just let them know that you're there so that you can demonstrate that you're really invested in their journey and that you care about them as a client. So, having that seamless follow-up system is gonna really help. Automated touch points are great. They should feel organized. You don't want them to feel impersonal. You want them to, we've given actually, if you go to AAM on Instagram, AAM PMU board on Instagram, we have an lip aftercare brochure template that has the standards that the AAM recommends that are backed by science that you can actually add your contact information to and a little QR code. You can put your website QR code on there as well. So definitely check us out on Instagram so that you can download that and it can look very luxurious and modern, and then you can put your contact info and now it looks like you have this professional marketing material that you can use to kind of make it feel cohesive, like a cohesive experience. Now, before I go further, I do want to pause for a moment because we built Gloss and Growth specifically for this reason. Most artists don't need more technique. They need that mentorship. They need that mindset support, that leadership development, actual strategy. And the Gloss and Growth Masterclass gives you that year-long access to learning lips. You have 6 presentations or more related to all things lips, and then you have the other side, which is the business, the branding, the marketing, how to know your numbers. Do you know how much your business costs to operate? What about long-term growth? Are we thinking about those things? And also the Dallas retreat that we have in March is going to allow us to do that in person with connection and accountability, community, conversations, all of that stuff. So if you're feeling stuck, I want you to know this is, a presentation that's giving you some really good nuggets, but there's more in depth that we can go. We can go more in depth, and we do that in person in our retreats and in our courses. Oopsie. Sorry, my phone just rang. So, anyways, back to the presentation. Let's continue. I think that thinking like a beauty clinic, not a one-off service, is going to help you because it's a huge shift. It's a huge shift when it comes to long-term client relationships. We're not just thinking single transactions anymore. We're not just thinking today, get that money. We have to start thinking further along in the timeline. Okay? Medical spas, clinics, they think long term. They don't think about the one time this person's going to walk in. They think, what can I do for this person? How can I treat them in a way that's going to make them want to come back? Okay. And your PMU business should do the same thing too. Instead of like one client, one service done, you have to think of the client journey, maintenance, long term care, relationship. You want to build lifetime value, stable income, and of course, consistent referrals. Most importantly, you're providing better care for your client. You can see here that, for example, your consultation process, having a beauty plan for your clients to reach their goals, maybe they start with the brows, but maybe you can also tie in how lip blush might be a good alternative or a good addition in the future, complement their features, or educating them on how, your 2-year, 3-year color boost appointment is going to maintain that investment. So when your marketing starts to speak to relationships, like it says here, rather than transactions, clients will perceive greater value. They're not buying into this single procedure. They're investing in an ongoing partnership with a trusted beauty professional who understands their aesthetic vision. All right. So we've been hearing a lot about niching down, niching down. Now, I have a couple of thoughts on that. And I know I don't claim to be a marketing expert. So obviously, you can consult whoever you need to consult to confirm what works for your business because every business is different. But here's my thought and my what I've seen in the industry since 2016, now 10 years, being in all different kind of sectors of the industry. I think your marketing should be focused even though your skill set is broad. So I want you to think of a hero service. A hero service is a service that you, for example, brings in, it's the most requested service, or it's actually the one you have the most demand for. It aligns with your passion, something you love doing. If you really love brows, then that would be a good hero service. Which one are you getting the best results on? Is it brows? Maybe it's lips, maybe it's paramedical, whatever it is, that needs to become your marketing anchor. Okay. That clarity is going to help clients understand why they should choose you. Okay. Now, again, I'm not saying that you should only offer one service because I think that's actually a disservice to your clients and to yourself. And it's a really easy way to get burnt out. I remember when I was only doing brows, by the 100th brow, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to see another brow again because it was just brow after brow after brow. So I added in more services, more things to my menu, added eyeliner, added powder, added lips, added paramedical. And nowadays, offering all of those services are going to be really great because when your client's there, it's not just a one and done. You have a lot of different things to offer them for the subsequent appointments, different ways to upsell them, packages you can do. But I don't think it's a smart marketing strategy to try to sell all of the service that you offer, all of the services that you offer. So promoting everything is going to dilute the message and possibly confuse your clients. So find that hero service to lead with, the one treatment that just naturally attracts the most interest, that generates the strongest results, and that, feels most aligned with your passion and expertise. That's the leading offer. That's the service that dominates. And what you focus on, but you also have other things on your website and you have other things that you will complement your clients that come in for that with. Okay. Make that your focus. Remember, brand positioning, you're going to be the center of the brow world with whatever, if brows is your hero service. Okay. Now, I want you to use your skill set like a treatment menu. Your hero service is going to attract clients. Then your expertise is going to expand that relationship. So brows might lead to lips, lips might lead to liner, paramedical might lead to something else, or brows might lead to paramedical. I know one time I was doing a woman's brows and I noticed that she had face face facelift scars. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm a human. I have a 10-month-old baby and hardly sleep. But she had these facelift scars, and I remember seeing them while I was doing her brows, and I said, "You know what? Let me just bring up the conversation that I had done another lady's facelift scars." And I said, "Hey, not sure if you know this or not, but I do paramedical work. I'm offering it at a discounted price because I'm currently, building up my portfolio in that. And I happened to have a client that came in a few weeks ago for some scars she had in her scalp and around her face. And so if you know of anybody, of course, the woman said, "Oh my gosh, let me show you." my scars. I would love for you to do my scars. And so that quickly became a natural progression to scars and then a conversation to scalp micropigmentation because certain scars of hers that were in her hairline required scalp micropigmentation. So I was able to, because I know scalp micropigmentation and paramedical, I was able to offer her both. And that brow client became a brow and an SMP and a facelift scar cover up. So again, you're not just trying to pressure people, you're guiding them to tell them, hey, I have a solution for a problem that you might have. And it's a natural progression. Also, you're creating a lot more of a lifetime value for this client without aggressively selling to them. And I think that's how spas operate. I'm pretty sure that's how spas operate because I go to a spa and they're amazing and they always tell me without being rude, not like sometimes the nail ladies will tell me I have a mustache. That's not my favorite. Like, do you want to get it waxed? Well, thanks for noticing. I appreciate it. Yeah. Do you see the chin hairs too? Fabulous. Thank you. So it's a little bit different as to how they do it, but it's an approach, right? And when I go to the med spa, they're not trying to upsell me, but if it's something that I really could use, they're giving it to me. All right, so let's go to the next slide. Now, clients need to visualize their experience before they book. And I think we forget this as beauty entrepreneurs because we're so focused on just getting the clients, getting them in, especially when things are slow, especially when things are hectic and crazy. You need to do a better job at showing your setup, showing your studio, talking about consultations, the process. How are you keeping them safe? How are you sanitizing things? Those are going to help reduce the fear, the hesitation, the uncertainty. Something that I put into practice several years ago was when I do my consultations, this was probably actually right around 2020, 2021, that we stopped having so many in-person consultations. It was more virtual, more phone consultations. So something that I put into practice was walking my clients through the entire process from start to finish before they booked. And I mean, for example, you just called me, you have some questions, you want to get your brows done. We get to the nitty-gritty of it all. I figure out what service you need, what's going to be the best fit for your brows and your goals and all that. Then I get to the part of, okay, let me tell you a little bit about what the process is like. You're going to walk into my studio. I have a very spacious waiting room where you can sit down. I have snacks, I have water. You'll fill out your paperwork while you're numbing. And then we're going to get to the meat and potatoes of the service. We're going to start the mapping process and we're going to work together to find that collaborative brow, that brow that's really going to work for you, that I feel good about putting on your face. Of course, I want you to tell me if you like it. We're going to talk about different things. I'm going to select the right color for you. I explain the whole process, then I'll bring you back to the back, take some picture, every single little step to the point to where my clients would come in and know exactly what was going to happen next. That reduces anxiety so much because now they know exactly what they're in for. When's the last time you walked into a business? I know this happened to me when I first got my lashes done by a new person, and I walk in and no shame to her at all because I love my lash girl so much, but she doesn't speak English as her first language. So she was running a little bit late, couldn't really communicate, and just showed up about 15 minutes later, right as I was about to leave. I I was like, oh, okay, I guess you're going to see me then. Great. Open your eyes, close your eyes. It was like boom, 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 boom. And I just thought, oh my gosh, did I just get like, were those pictures really hers? Oh no, this is not good. I got nervous. I started getting nervous. I don't get nervous at appointments, and I started getting nervous because she wasn't communicating with me. She wasn't telling me what was going on. It was, oh, very regimented. Of course, now I know exactly what to expect, but it would have been nice And I think she might have held on to more clients if she had walked them through the process. Okay, I'm going to wash your eyes now, make sure there's nothing on there. Okay, I'm going to tape your eyes back. You're going to keep your eyes closed, whatever it is, especially for someone new. So, walk your clients through that process when you're doing the consultation. Answer all of their questions so that when they get there, all you're talking about is the excitement of getting this new service done and that they're, reduce that anxiety and that they're going to be happy and excited and positive when they're there. Okay. Showing your studio, showing your setup, your consultations, your sanitation, that's going to reduce that fear and that hesitation. And, it's probably going to answer some questions they may already have. And you can do that with what you're showing them. All right. Now, being the face of your beauty brand. A lot of people hide behind their logos. A lot of people hide behind just showing the work or showing the behind the scenes. There's something to be said about having a human connection. Your face builds trust. Your voice, it builds comfort. Your personality is going to lead to loyalty. You want to let clients know who you are before they even come and sit in your chair. So I know it's hard. Don't get me wrong. Trust me, I get nervous every time I do this. Right now, I'm on a couple of different platforms, but I don't love showing my face all the time. Sometimes I just want to not show my face. For a whole year, I didn't on the AAM's account because I wanted to build and structure and lead with authority. But then it started to become who is behind this page, who is behind this business. And I started to I wanted to build that trust. I want you to recognize that, hey, this is a person with authority. I'm a human being. This is the person behind the profession. I'm approachable. I'm knowledgeable. I'm invested in your results. That's the same feeling that you should be giving your clients as well. Like it says on the slide, talk directly to the camera as if you're having a conversation with a client in your chair. Let your personality shine through, your genuine care for helping people. Share your perspective, which techniques you recommend, what approaches you avoid, how you customize the treatments for different shapes and different skin tones. I think 2026 is the year of education. We need to flood the market with education. Yes, there's some time for fun and games. Yes, there's times for being entertaining, but that is not going to sell the service anymore. Okay? Let clients know who you are before they ever sit in the chair. They want to feel like they know you. And that familiarity does create comfort, like it says here, trust, comfort and trust, which is essential ingredients for a successful PMU experience. So, next slide. All right. I think we're wrapping up soon. Now, last slide, your 2026 Beauty Pro Marketing Plan. So we can wrap this up. 2026 marketing plan is going to have clear positioning, elevated visuals, simple but professional systems. This is about stepping in to the role as a trusted beauty professional, not chasing trends, not copying influencers. You're not going to burn yourself out. You want to build a sustainable, respectable business. And let's go a little deeper into this right here. So, like I said, define your position, that hero service. Remember, what service is bringing in all the clients? Is it brows? Is it lips? Is it paramedical? What is it? That's your hero service. And like I said in the previous slides, that's the one we're going to latch onto, and that's what our marketing is going to be surrounded. The whole marketing game plan is going to be all about brows. Now, you can still offer other services. And you go back and rewatch, you'll see what I mentioned about that, but it's going to be that hero service. And visuals need to be upgraded. Invest in hiring a local photographer. Have a glam day. If you do your own glam like I do, have a day where you are made up and you have your scrubs on and you look good or whatever you wear content that day. You don't have to do it every single day. Batch it. And then your systems, automations, things that are going to help you show up consistently as the professional that you already are. And I do want to say what's on this slide. Okay. You've invested years in training, licensing, and perfecting your craft. Your marketing should honor that commitment by positioning you as a serious professional. You're not a hobbyist. This isn't a side hustle. You're a trusted advisor who transforms lives through the expert permanent makeup artistry. Clients are always going to seek out professionals who combine technical excellence with care. That's how you're going to stand out. Okay. When your marketing starts to reflect both of those things, you attract ideal clients who value your expertise, respect your pricing, and become enthusiastic advocates for your brand. So, this is your moment to step fully into your role as a beauty professional and build the brand you deserve. Implement the systems that support sustainable growth and watch your practice transform into the thriving beauty business you've always envisioned. So, if today's training resonated with you, I truly encourage you to take a deeper step into education and community. Like I said before, our Gloss and Growth Masterclass and our retreat that's happening in Dallas in March are going to go deeper into these kinds of topics. It's created for those artists who are looking for clarity, connection, confidence, direction. Um, we'll have the links available to you. I know I've shared them in our Instagram channel and I've been sharing them because I'm really excited. There's only this is again, this isn't about, oh, this is some huge opportunity for us. It's 30 people. 30 people. Every dollar is being spent on making this experience the most valuable and the most enjoyable experience you're going to have because we want to educate, we want to share everything that we can with you as people who have been doing this for decades. So keep in mind that we want to spend a week with you, a couple of days with, in March, so that we can join in community and get deeper in topics like this. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching our webinars. Next week's going to be a good one. So definitely join us next week. And if you want to watch the replay to this one I'm actually going to leave on YouTube. So if you haven't joined our YouTube channel, please go check it out. But the future ones are not going to be on YouTube and their replays will be reserved for our members only. So if you're interested in learning more about that, you can go to www.micropigmentation.org. We have a community membership for people who are new or have less than 2 years in the industry. You get access to all of our replays. We have technique replays. We have marketing, business. We have every possible topic you can think of, and we're adding to it weekly. And you also get some other exclusive things like templates and all of that stuff to really help with your branding, which is part of the 2026 marketing plan. So I hope to see you all next week. And if you have any questions, just DM us at AAMPMU board on Instagram. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you next Thursday. Bye, everyone. Recording.